All right. Hey, everybody. Back again. It is the incredible Rhyme Animal. It's Public Enemy for all of you people under 40. All right. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Back again with another episode. I will answer questions of any kind. As you can see by the title screen, slowly the technology is building up. Pretty soon, show's gonna start. Be 100% like straight up robot. I'll be like, bzz, 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 bzz. It's gonna be amazing. I'll shoot lasers that'll like sear the back of your brain even through the screen. So at that point, you probably don't want to be watching the show. But in general, technology is coming up. I'm gonna answer a question really quick that I got from somebody a while ago, which is, what am I doing during the quarantine as an artist? Because like I had stuff going on that was like outside the house, but suddenly like I'm inside the house. So what am I doing? Well, and I have a lot of friends who are artists who are suffering because they don't have a lot of work coming in. And I'll tell you about what I'm doing. It doesn't solve your problems at all, but maybe it provides insight. But before we do that, let's look at, we have a question here. Look at this. Should I take these pigtails out? Okay, well, apparently Rachel, she doesn't even have pigtails. Her hair isn't long enough. Look at this hair. She doesn't have pigtails. What are you doing? Why are you wasting everybody's time? All right, so here's what I'm doing. Let me get rid of some of this music. We don't really need a lot of this music in the background, do we? But it tearing it up. Look at these guys tearing it up. Wow! If only it were useful to freestyle the entire time that I'm here. It is not. But I would do it in a heartbeat. All right, so if you have questions or comments, you can just throw them in the comment section. Yes, she does. She has pigtails, she says. Okay, great. Send a picture of yourself in pigtails. Why don't you post it in the comments? We'll take a look at it, and I'll let you know whether or not you need to get rid of your pigtails. All right, so this is what I'm doing. So usually, in fact, I was actually in the middle of working on a show, which was, there's another episode of tonight, a not a TV show, but it was a Facebook Watch show with Penguin Random House. It is called The Great Fantasy Debate, and it is a comedy debate show where famous authors and some comedians talk about fantasy stuff. Like, is it better to be part of the rebellion or part of the empire? Okay, another episode tonight. You can search for it on Facebook. It's free to watch. Called The Great Fantasy Debate. But anyway, that was supposed to come out early, and we were supposed to like do this round of pitching with my production company and go out to Los Angeles and pitch these shows that we were trying to sell. But that, of course, did not happen, and I'll tell you why. Because pandemic. Boom. Anyway, so we're here instead. And so what I've been doing with my time is I've been working on a couple of projects that I kind of got going that can be done during the pandemic. I have two projects. One of them is, I actually have more than two projects, but one of the projects I'm doing is a series of two shorts. One of them is animated, and the other is puppets, I guess is the best way to describe it. So it can actually be done during the pandemic. I actually hired a voiceover artist to record one of the videos. She had her entire setup in her house, and she did that recording. And so then I took that information and I sent it over to the storyboard artist and to the animator, and basically I'm going to produce these entire two shorts during the pandemic because we ain't going outside for a little bit. Number two thing that I do The number 2 thing that I do right now is I'm trying to grow my own personal brand, which sounds horrible. I hate phrases like that. Like people say my own personal brand, it just makes me want to throw up, just like projectile vomit. But I can't do that right. Well, I can't do that right now because it would be terrible for you and for me. Okay, so Rachel sent a picture of herself in pigtails. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna email this picture to myself and throw it up on screen, and we can decide whether or not Rachel needs to remove her pigtails. So why don't I get this down? Just email this to myself, and then we'll get a chance to decide together whether or not Rachel is gonna do. Now, Rachel, if you really don't want me to do this, I know you're watching, so if you don't want me to do this, say it now, because otherwise we're all gonna get a picture of you in pigtails, okay? All right, and then as soon as we do that, I will talk about the other thing that I'm doing besides what you know me doing, what I've told you I've been doing so far. I can't do 2 things at once very well. I noticed that. I realized that I was terrible at talking while I'm emailing myself. This picture, here it goes, everybody. Boom, in the internet. All right, let's see what Rachel says. Oh, she says it's fine. Okay, so we're all gonna take a look at Rachel's picture with her pigtails and then decide whether or not we should take them off, or whether or not she should take them off. Well, she asked, and we'll give our opinion, and then we'll find out what she does, I'm sure, later on. Okay, so here's what I'm doing. As many of you know, I am a comedian and a cartoonist and a filmmaker. But what a lot of people do not know is before all of that, I was a computer programmer. All right. So that's what I did with my time. I love logic. I love algorithms. They're the best. And so I always look at things. I try to figure out like how to take things apart and put things back together to make them the most efficient. And one thing that I learned recently is that, okay, so there is a ratio. I forgot what the ratio is named, but it's basically, if you're trying to sell to people, okay, like you're selling just something terrible, like say a rock, okay, you're gonna sell a rock. Like remember how big a pet rock got? Okay, but just trying to sell, like say a stick, all right? You're trying to sell a stick to people, and most people won't buy a stick. You know, most people, you'll try to sell them a stick and they'll be like, no, I don't want that stick. However, if you ask 1 million people, some people will buy the stick. Now, depending on what you're selling, there's a certain percentage of how many people would buy that stick. And so, for instance, if you're selling like fitness, it's like 14% of people will probably buy your fitness stick, okay? If you're selling apparel, like maybe 6% of people will buy your apparel stick. It's just like in different industries, the number is different. Basically, you ask enough people to buy something, and then they'll buy it. And now, depending on how you ask them, will drive up or down that percentage. Like you got a super flashy commercial, people will buy more. You got a less flashy commercial, people will buy less. So whatever it is. All right, I don't want to go into selling stuff, but what I did think was interesting was that there was an article that was published in Forbes about how to take a Facebook page and build it for a brand to 250,000 likes on the Facebook page, and to do that within 1 month, okay? And it's not free, okay? And also, you're not buying likes. What you're doing is you're using Facebook ads, targeted Facebook ads, to like kind of send your message out to people. So like you tell Facebook the type of people you want to see whatever you're sending, and then Facebook like zeroes in on those people and then shows them your stuff, and then they get to decide, oh, do I like this or do I not like this? And so this guy in Forbes just broke down like how to do that with very little money to start. Like you get to test things, like it only costs $5 to test things. And so it takes very little money to start, and then you can build a brand page on Facebook from 0 to 250,000 followers in about a month. Okay, and that's that's valuable, because if once you have 250,000 people who are interested in this thing, like say you made a cat page, it's like everybody likes cats. All right, so say you made a cat page, and then you start selling like, cat toys. Then you've got this audience that loves cats that is going to probably buy quite a few cat toys from you, considering there's 250,000 of them. Okay, so that means that if a small percentage, like say 5% of the people were thinking about 5% of these people who are motivated and loving cats bought something from you, and say it costs $10, you can make a good amount of money. I don't want to do the math completely, but I guess it was 100,000. Oh my God, why am I doing this? 100,000, 5%. That's 10,000, 12,500. It's 12,500. That's $25,000. Okay, if you sold that cat toy, and then you did that once a month, like, and most people actually do it twice or 3 times a month. Like they don't go crazy on oversaturating these pages with sales. But this is how it applies to me as an artist, okay? I was like, well, why can't I use, like, while I'm during this downtime, why can't I use that same formula for building up a brand to build up my own like Facebook page and stuff? And what I do is not like, I'm not cats. I'm not a cat. And so I can't just like sell people an idea of cats. I'm not a travel page. I'm just Victor Varnado, and I make cartoons. I do funny things, and I'm a filmmaker. Can I build up my own brand page using the same techniques? I mean, if it only costs about $5 to $10 a day to get started, I can do that. I mean, it's not like I'm not rich or anything, but I've got enough money to do that. So why don't I start do what they say, which is you should start boosting your posts on Facebook if you have a post that is like, meant to be funny or whatever, and then posts that perform well, you boost them again, because if they perform well and basically cost you very little money, and okay, it does cost $5, but what I'm saying is that, like, say I have 2 cartoons, cartoon A and cartoon B, okay? And then cartoon A, every time I pay $5 and 200 people click on the cartoon and they like it, okay? So basically for that $5, I got 200 great interactions, okay? But cartoon B, for $5, I got 1,000 interactions, all right? So in that case, cartoon B, it cost me less to get the number of interactions cost me less per interaction. All right. So if you have some posts which perform well and some posts that don't perform well, then you single out the posts that perform well and you put more money behind those posts. And then as that goes, then your followers build on your Facebook page, and you just keep doing that. You keep posting like 3 or 4 times every day. You keep boosting each post, which is going to be like between $5 and $15, I guess, if you're doing like 3 or 4 posts a day. And then you, when people like and interact, then Facebook gives you the option to invite them to your page. And so basically that's what I started doing yesterday. I just started yesterday. I put out the first couple of posts. One cartoon did way better than all the other cartoons. I just put out this cartoon, and Facebook Facebook guesses like how much engagement you'll get, and it guessed that I would get, and on the high end, about 400 engagements. Like 400 people would be like, I like that, blah blah blah. But the engagements that I actually got were closer to like 1,200. So basically, in Facebook logic now, so basically 1,200 people like that photo, and then more people started liking my page, and in Facebook logic I'm supposed to like now put more money behind that ad, which I am. I'll put another $5 on it for another day, and hopefully it'll like do its thing, because in the last day or so I've gained like, I mean, in one day, it's not a lot. I think I gained like 15 to 20 followers, but now I can actually start using that, because if I can build to 250,000, and I might not build to 250,000. I'm pretty sure that I mean, I don't have the same chance as a cat page. A cat page will just like spark like a fire, and everybody will be part of it. But maybe I'll put my cat, who is a part of my life. I'm not just selling out. Okay, maybe I'll put my cat in the page or something. All right. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing. If you want to see the cartoon that got over 1,000 likes, I will show it to you. I'm going to pull up the screen so that I can do two things. One, I can show you the cartoon that got over 1,000 likes, and two, we can decide whether or not Rachel should take out her pigtails. Okay, so here we go. Let's find this cartoon, y'all. Y'all want to see this cartoon? Well, let's check out this cartoon. You know what I'm talking about. Cartoons all up in here. So I have different cartoons running, so I'm actually trying to find the right cartoon that got over 1,000 likes. Okay, so here we go. Let me share the screen for you. And here's a cartoon that got over 1,000 likes. I don't know what the exact number is. It says 1K right now, but yeah, so it got over 1,000 likes, but it doesn't just count likes. It basically also counts like if people like click on the cartoon and like make it big and look at it and stuff like that. If they're really like having a good time with it, or they share it or whatever, then it counts all that too. So the actual interactions were closer to 1,200, even though the likes says 1K. But anyway, that was basically after one day, and this like helped get more people to like my fan page. And also, if say you have a fan page and you have 250,000 people who generally like your comedy, because I send this out to say 30 million people. Out of those 30 million, I get 250,000 to actually like my page. Then those people are already motivated. So if I put out an album, or I put out a book, or I make a comic or whatever, then my conversion rates are probably going to be higher, which means that you can make a living. So I'm trying to take this time that is happening during the pandemic and see what I can do to future-proof myself. I mean, even though things aren't going bad, but I am future-proofing myself if possible. All right, so I know you are as excited as I am to figure out what the hell we should do about these pigtails. So we're going to bring that up right now and figure out what Rachel's pigtail deal is. Hold on, I gotta pull it up in such a way so that I don't show you guys my secret emails, because I have emails from people. You know, people talk to me all the time. People talk to me all the time. They enjoy conversing with me, so especially when I talk all low like this, people are like, oh my gosh, are you that low talking guy? And I'm like, yeah. Okay, everybody, let's take a look and see what should be done about these pigtails. It's telling me to open with something else. Hold on. I'm trying to open up, and I'm just gonna download it. It's way easier if I just download it, put it on my desktop, boom, and then bring it to life. Y'all about to see Rachel's face. We about to figure out what's going on with those pigtails. Should she have her pigtails in or out? Who knows? We're about to find out right now. I'm bringing up the picture. You guys, this is so fun for me. I don't know why I'm having such a good time. The anticipation, is it killing you? It's killing me, y'all. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna bring up this picture and make it nice and big for you. Oh no, 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 no. Okay, here we go. Sorry. The computer started freaking out and playing something I didn't want to play. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? I need to know your answers. Do you think Rachel should take out her pigtails? Here's the picture. Should Rachel take out those pigtails? I'll tell you what she should do, though. Clean her frickin' room. Or the pandemic, she's kind of become a mole woman. But if you think Rachel should take out her pigtails, please let me know. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say no. Why? Because who's going to see it? I mean, unless you happen to send your picture into a web show and they feature you, I mean, that's the only way people are going to see it. But as it is, I mean, like, who's going to know? Who's going to know? Rachel has a response. I can use scissors and cut them. Why would you do that? What? No, don't go crazy and start cutting your hair. You know, I feel like the attention is what's making you act out. So we're going to end the show for today, everybody. Thanks a lot. I'll see you tomorrow, probably in the morning. I usually do the morning, but today I just didn't feel like getting up because the weight of the entire pandemic was on my shoulders, and I worried for humankind. You know, sometimes you just don't get up as early as you want to. Bye.